Yo guys, what is up? Mike's in our first Descendant video, and today we've got the devs' response to all of the feedback with Season 1. Recently, the developers launched Season 1 of the first Descendant. With it came HAILEY, the new Invasion dungeons, and the new Inversion buffs. And the Inversion buffs were pretty lacking. People did not like the Invasion dungeon system and the mechanics behind them. And there was a lot of frustration around how long it would take to farm HAILEY. The devs have responded to all of it. So let's go over it, and they are making some pretty massive changes. So the dev notice goes, "Greetings, Descendants. This is the director of the first Descendant. I would like to apologize for everyone who had inconvenience since Season 1 update. Everyone's support is incredibly appreciated, and our dev team is currently doing our greatest effort to resolve the current issue. Throughout this dev note, we'd like to share some countermeasures regarding the Invasion Dungeon and HAILEY's farming difficulty issues. Summary: modifications in Invasion Dungeons and Inversion Reinforcement, reduce difficulty of puzzle mechanics, buff Inversion Reinforcements, and delete penalty in the next week 1.1.1 update, improved HAILEY farming process, increase HAILEY's equipment material drop rate in 1.1b hotfix, improved development process, FGT and prior feedback in consideration." FGT stands for focus group testing, and then improve communication or community communication. We will fully listen and reflect everyone's opinion. We'll try our best to make improvements. So they go on to say, for Invasion Dungeons, to provide faster and better experience, we will lower the difficulty of the puzzle mechanics and will modify the monsters spawning. For Order of Truth, to make it easier to remember, the patterns will be simplified and the arcade pillars without patterns will be deleted. The direction of the arcade pillars will be adjusted to look toward the battle area, and the drone's pattern will be designed vertically, also to make the gameplay experience better. Tumors that cover the pattern and the ones that block the door will be easier to destroy it. Also, tumors that were once destroyed will not be regenerated. So basically, they're making this just way easier all around. The drone is going to line up its symbols exactly how it would on a pillar, so it's going to be easier to identify. Pillars will be facing you. The things will not generate. It should just be a lot easier to do this mechanic. I understood that there was a lot of frustration with it. I didn't honestly mind this mechanic, but I know that people want to play the game and not just do memory puzzle things. So good changes there. Next, for the Legion of Darkness, the occupation time of an archetype will be shortened and the tile will be rearranged so that there are more puzzles easily distinguishable. The number of wrong archetypes will be reduced, and self-destructive monsters which steal the archetype will be deleted. In color puzzles, symbols will be added so players with color weakness, blindness, will be more easily able to enjoy the game. Lastly, barrier HP for named monsters will be weakened. So it's going to be a lot easier to do the color puzzles, and for those of you that are colorblind, they're going to add symbols on all the things so that you will more easily be able to do this mechanic. And then just like other legions, the puzzle mechanics for the Legion of Immortality will be modified in an easier way. As the invasion event for Legion of Immortality starts today, based on today's feedback, we will find more specific countermeasures. Also, Inversion Reinforcement will also be improved. To let everyone fully enjoy the Inversion Reinforcement system, we are planning to buff most of the effects and delete the penalties. These buffs were, to be honest, just not great. There were some interesting ones, but it was 5 to 10% of the ones of all the total buffs were actually kind of interesting. So they're going to be buffing a lot of them. A lot of them just had penalties that were too big or too negative to really make use of, or some of them were on ridiculously long cooldowns, where it was a 300-second cooldown for a tiny little buff. So hopefully those are a lot more interesting and we can actually start building around them. Modifications in difficulty for Invasion Dungeons and Inversion Reinforcements will be fixed next Thursday update. So a week from today. Throughout the update, we will try our best to let everyone fully enjoy the Invasion Dungeon in a more comfortable way. After that, we are planning to add matchmaking systems so users can play the Invasion Dungeon as multiplayer mode. So they're just taking out the whole, you can only do them solo. They're changing that. You will be able to do them in co-op with friends. Next, and you'll be able to matchmake for them, which is awesome. Also, the drop rate for HAILEY's research materials, all of her parts in invasions and infiltration operations will be increased. Our dev team wanted everyone, including our users who have limited time to finish HAILEY in 12 days, in average. Also, we wanted to better support users who can invest a lot of time to farm HAILEY faster through the infiltration operation. However, to accommodate opinion that HAILEY's farming takes too long, we are planning to increase the drop rate for HAILEY's research material about 2 times faster. So it'll take you on average like 6 days rather than on average 12 days. The drop rate for HAILEY's research material will be updated this Saturday. So that's literally happening tomorrow. So some of these things are happening next week, like the invasion dungeon changes and the buffs in the inversion reinforcement, but HAILEY will be getting changed tomorrow. Furthermore, we will improve our development process to meet the expectations of our players in future updates. We are considering having focus group testing after development is completed, or inviting players to gather feedback before the update is released and incorporating that feedback into the final release. That's pretty cool. I think something like that could be really interesting. Games like Diablo often have either these like PTR sessions where players can test the things and give feedback before they go fully live. And, you know, I think potentially doing something like that with focus group testing could smooth out some of these launches, because obviously you want your big season launch to go as well as possible. And that's not quite what happened here. So I like that idea on them. I would definitely be interested if they ever wanted to invite me to one of those things. That would be cool. Our dev team has been listening to various opinions about the first major update from the community. We will continue to respond quickly to issues, communicate improvement directions transparently, and do our best to ensure that Descendants can enjoy the first Descendant for a long time. Thank you. So obviously there was a lot of frustration yesterday with kind of the season launch. There was disappointment with the buffs, frustration with the grind to get HAILEY. The devs have responded as they have done time and time again with, once again, in my opinion, a great response and great changes. They're getting on it. Obviously, in a perfect world, these things would just be like sorted out before launch, but it's a new game. It's got some growing pains, and I'm willing to give the devs the benefit of the doubt for most of this kind of stuff. And so really happy to see them once again just kind of like owning up to some of the mistakes and just making the game better. In my opinion, a lot of these changes will make the game better, specifically the inversion buffs. I just thought they were really, really lame. So I'm really excited to see those improved. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I will catch y'all in the next one. Take care. Peace.